Now I know your time is limited, so I don't want you spending any more of it viewing this video than you want to. So let me quickly tell you what the contents of this video is about. This video is about one of the major reasons there has been such a decline in the number of parents who are enrolling their children to play youth league baseball and softball. This video also provides information on how an individual can develop a young baseball or softball player into a great hitter. Plus, this video can assist a high school baseball or softball coach with developing a feeder system that produces good hitters year after year. I should point out, many of my opinions are expressed throughout this video. Since you may not agree with them, you'll be given the opportunity to discredit them, debate them, and ask questions. Let's start with something that everybody agrees with. All children should participate in some form of physical activity. And the best physical activity for a child is to be a member of one of their high school's athletic teams. Now, in my opinion, the high school sports that provide the least risk of serious injury, the most career and educational opportunities, and the best chance to qualify for the high school team regardless of the child's physical stature are baseball and softball. Child doesn't have to be tall, child doesn't have to be capable of jumping high, child doesn't have to run fast, and the child doesn't have to bench press 200 pounds to qualify to play in a high school baseball or softball team. All the child has to do to qualify for the team is hit high school pitching effectively. And all that requires is eliminating the hitting of slow rolling infield grounders and pop-ups. You want to fact check that? Take a player's batting stats for a year, eliminate the infield grounders and pop-ups that resulted in outs, and see what it does to their batting average. Now, our experience has been with effective conditioning and training, all players can accomplish that. So with all that being true, in my opinion, why has there been such a decline in the number of children being enrolled to play youth league baseball and softball, where children get prepared to play high school ball? According to one of our local newspapers, the decline is so significant, Chase Utley, Cal Ripken Jr., and Jenny Finch have joined in an effort to reverse the trend. Now, we've been concerned about this for some time now. So we put our ear to the ground, and here's a summary of what we heard. People are witnessing children spend 3, 4, 5 years of their young life playing youth league baseball and softball, with the child's parents, and the child's grandparents dreaming of the child playing on their high school team, only to see the child enter high school and not qualify for the high school team. And the reasons identified for why the child didn't qualify for the high school team after all the years they played was the child couldn't hit high school pitching. Or the more prevalent reason, the child could hit high school pitching, but not as effectively as the children who played on a travel team, a tournament team. So parents who are witnessing this are thinking, I would love my child to play in their high school's baseball or softball team, but I know the youth league coaches don't have the time to provide my child personal hitting lessons. And I don't have the money to pay for my child to enjoy the benefit of being on a travel team. So these parents are coming to the conclusion, why should I have my child spend 4 or 5 years chasing a dream that probably will never materialize, when they could be preparing for a sport where they have a much better chance of making the high school team? Which brings us to the subject of developing a child into a great baseball or softball hitter. It's unlikely a child will become a great hitter if they don't qualify to play on their high school team. So the goal for the individual with a desire to see a child develop into a great hitter is the same goal for the frustrated parents who believes their child playing youth league baseball or softball would be a futile effort. That goal is having the child prepared to effectively hit high school pitching when they enter high school. Now, aside from parents and grandparents of pre-high school age children in a school district, who else should be concerned about the decline in the number of children who are being prepared to qualify to play high school baseball and softball? How about high school baseball and softball coaches? A high school's feeder system can be the reason a high school has a winning season. A high school's feeder system is the key to having championship teams. So the question becomes, what can a parent, grandparent, guardian, or a high school coach do to help a child be effectively prepared to hit high school pitching without taking on the time-consuming and financial burden of having the child be a member of a travel team? I recommend Haney Hitting Systems DIY program, do-it-yourself program. It's a program that provides a person the ability to prepare a child to be an effective hitter against the challenges of high school pitching. It can be accomplished conveniently at one's home, and no baseball or softball experience is required. Now you're asking yourself, why should you consider anything I recommend? Consider this. I'm Rod Haney, one of the principals of Haney Hitting System. I've been conditioning and training young baseball and softball players to hit for over 40 years. During that period, I've had experiences that I believe are unique and set me apart from most other hitting coaches. For example, I was the hitting coach for a team that repeatedly represented their state at the national tournament as a result of repeatedly winning their state championship. The team was primarily composed of the same 12 players for the 8-year period of 12 and under, 14 and under, 16 and under, and 18 and under categories. As a result, every year in spring training, I was challenged with the mental, emotional, and physical changes each player experienced from year to year. In many cases, these changes disrupted the player's bat swing execution to such a degree, we'd have to reconstruct the player's bat swing motor skill memory so the player would maintain their status as a good hitter against the challenges of better pitching. Of the 12 players, 11 went on to play college ball. One set the state's high school batting average record. 50 games played every complete inning of the 50 games, 714 batting average for the year. 7 players were offered Division I scholarships. 2 players were offered professional contracts. Now, I followed some of the players as their hitting coach during their college career. This provided me an acute awareness of how the conditioning and training a young player receives during their youth league years affects their hitting throughout their playing career. My experience resulted in the design of a system for developing baseball and softball players into great hitters. This isn't a novelty hitting aid. This isn't a video clinic on how to mimic a major league player's bat swing execution. This is a system of conditioning and training that prepares a child to hit high school pitching in a manner that allows the player to easily and successfully transition to hitting college pitching. The system is so different and unique it qualifies for copyright protection. The DIY program I recommended, the do-it-yourself program, is a compressed version of the beginning of our system. So for frustrated parents who don't think their child will ever hit well enough to make their high school team, for those individuals interested in seeing a child become a great baseball or softball hitter, here's a legitimate opportunity to accomplish the goal of having a child prepared to effectively hit high school pitching. Same goes for high school coaches who would love to have a feeder system that provides great hitters. For more information on our system or our DIY program, testimonials, reviews, and the ability to critique and ask questions, go to haneyhitting.com. Thank you.